Hey everyone, I'm Joseph.
I'm David.
We just watched
Wonder Woman.
Guys, if you like this video, smash that like button for me. Click the subscribe to see more. But let's jump into this. Alright everyone, so here we're talking Wonder Woman, but this is a non-spoiler, I repeat, non-spoiler, spoiler review with us. We'll be out later next week, but let's jump into this movie. Where you want to start?
I want to start first by telling you he's saying non-spoiler twice because I spoil everything. So that's why it's more for me than you, but it is a non-spoiler, so you're good. Where I'd like to start with the story. I think the story is really good. There's not really it's hard non-spoiler.
Yeah, it's hard because you just want to jump into it. You're just like, well, this happened and this happened, and
it from what you see from the trailers, I mean, don't get me wrong, the trailer didn't give a lot away. It really held everything together, but at the same time, it had the trailer gave you its beats points. I mean, it knew what it was going to do, and you knew what it was going to do, but yet it was still a good story.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is not a spoiler. You know, Themyscira, the war. Don't do that to me. And the climax, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And Patty Jenkins, who is an excellent director to begin with.
Did a great job.
Did a great job. Without me going off on a rant, what did you think of the story?
I really enjoyed it. Like you said, the trailers did kind of tell you, like, okay, this is where we're at. This is kind of what's going to happen. One thing I did like story-wise was the trailers very much led you on a different path when it comes to thinking who the main antagonist is. And it doesn't show you the main antagonist in any trailer clear. Like, you know, you maybe catch a glimpse in one of them, but it's not enough to be like, that's what he's going to look like kind of thing. I like that.
Okay, see, I thought you were going somewhere else with that when you said, like, show, like, what he looked like, or it looked like, or she looked like, or whatever it looked like. But you did see the birth of it, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, without giving anything away, and this is very hard. But I think they did what they had to do, and I think they accomplished what they needed to do. Like I said, great story. Great acting. The characters were amazing, and without going too quick, it's like I'd like to jump into the characters just because I really can't give you more story without ruining it.
It's hard to give you all the details and stuff because without spoiling something. But story was great. One thing we can do before we jump into characters is compare it to other DC movies. First, as DC fans, I personally really enjoyed the story and what they did with it. And we'll talk about why in the spoiler one.
Yeah, definitely we will.
But I think it's easy to say that this story is probably the best one so far when it comes to the DC extended universe.
I would have to agree 100% because I'm a DC fan. We all know he's a DC fan. And I love Man of Steel. I love BVS.
Yeah.
I'm on that side of the fence with Suicide Squad thinking there's a good movie in there somewhere. We just didn't get it, but there's a good movie in there somewhere. I think this movie is where DC starts. Granted, it really started in Man of Steel and progressed to BVS, but I think it starts here. And when in the trailers, when you see, you know, the birth of justice, this is the birth of justice. It really, really is. And for all you non-believers, for all you people that said, you know what, Gal Gadot's too skinny or Gal Gadot is not a Wonder Woman. That, my friends, is Wonder Woman.
Woo.
And she holds the mantle, and Linda Carter passed it to her and says, you know what, I believe in you if nobody else does. And you know what, DC has knocked it out of the park with their casting.
Yeah.
You know, Henry Cavill.
Yep.
Ben Affleck. Gal Gadot. And I'm really excited to see Ezra Miller's Flash. You know, the Green Lantern Corps. You know, whoever they cast. You know, maybe it's a buddy cop, Nathan Fillion, you know, Tyrese, or whatever they do. But the Lantern Corps, and then our Cyborg. So, you know, with these castings, it gives you hope. Granted, it's DC, and DC's track record is terrible
right now.
But we do have hope. We do have hope, and she starts that hope.
I was gonna say that's the big hope. The big WW is the big hope.
Yeah, and it's crazy that two grown men are talking about how Wonder Woman is giving DC Comics hope.
Yeah, I mean, because she's awesome in the movie.
Yeah,
she kicks ass in the movie.
She really.
And I can't help but I have to say it, and he knows what I'm gonna say is, it was visually a beautiful movie, and the reason I say that It's because we have color, people. That's a blue and red and gold. You know what I'm saying? Like all the other movies, you have them, but they're just like super dark tint on them and
filters.
Yeah. So here we actually get to see these vivid colors, and I was like, that's beautiful. The movie looks fantastic. It's bright when it needs to be bright. It's dark when it needs to be dark. It gives us the best of both worlds.
Colors that Marvel said will work and DC said they won't work, and now
they will work.
They do work.
It's wonderful how that works out.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing. I'm so can't say enough about this movie.
Oh, definitely.
Characters? Yeah,
that works.
Yeah, real quick because there's really not. I'm trying so hard.
He hates this non-spoiler stuff.
I really do.
He's like, I want to show you everything.
Diana Prince.
Oh, you want to start? You want to start at the top?
Might as well. Yeah, Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, great arc.
Oh yeah.
If you're a comic fan, you knew the arc. Once again, Gal Gadot sells it.
Yeah.
It's a great arc. She's a badass.
Yes.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
I mean, talking about her, I love the fact that it's not to give it away again. It's hard, but it's an intro movie, which doesn't really ruin anything.
It's an origin story.
It's an origin story for Wonder Woman. So that's one thing I like. As a fan, I know the story, but if I wasn't a fan and I go in, I come out getting an idea of who she is, where she comes from, and there's a lot of funny moments in this movie, but they're not like I'm making a joke funny. It's little things that they do funny with involving her character and involving her interactions with other characters like Captain Trevor and
Eddie
Candy and stuff like that, which is really funny. And
the Amazons.
And the other Amazons, who are also badass, and we see there's a lot of cool stuff that happens on Themyscira, which I really loved, but we can't jump into that because that will start ruining.
You stick around for the spoiler.
Yeah,
you'll get all of it.
You'll get less of I want to tell you and more of just raw. You need to know this.
Yeah.
Captain Trevor. Captain Trevor.
Steve Trevor, Chris Pine.
He did.
I was expecting Captain Kirk in the 20s, 40s, whatever the war was. My history is terrible, but we didn't get that. We got Steve Trevor.
Yeah, no, and he did. It was a fun version of him, and I like what Chris Pine, as Captain Trevor, brought to the movie. It wasn't like they were trying to focus on him; they were focusing on her. But he just was involved, and he wasn't over the top on anything. He was just like, "This is me, and this is how it works," kind of deal. Like
really, really expecting Captain Kirk. It really was, and I hate to say that. You go into these DC movies because they burned you so many times thinking, okay, well, you know what this guy's going to do.
Yeah.
Totally different. I mean, and all the credit goes to Patty Jenkins. It really does.
Oh, yeah.
But we can stay on characters. We'll stay on because, if it's up to me, I'd just tell you how great Patty Jenkins was. But we won't go there. I guess the Amazons would be next, and we're gonna hold off our villain, our antagonist,
until the spoiler.
To the spoiler, because that is.
There's no talking about that character without giving anything away.
Exactly.
So we're gonna have to just avoid that for now.
So the Amazons, they are as badass as advertised.
Yeah, they're very well. Like if you look at a comic and you read it and you think even DC has the whole. It's like 6 issues, Odyssey of the Amazons, and it just kind of tells you some backstory about them and why they're badass warriors. And the movie does that very well. It tells you they're not just these, people who live in their own world. They're badass females. They're just not a whole
bunch of supermodels that can fight.
Yeah, like there's story behind them being like that.
Yeah, and then the movie tells you that story.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It really does.
It lets you just wander. It actually explains it.
And to backtrack, and this is not a spoiler, but. What the movie does is in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it tells you it doesn't harp on anything.
Yeah.
It says, look, this is why they're here.
Yep.
This is what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Yeah. No, you're right. And it doesn't spend too much time on one thing. It's not like, okay, we're just going to flood you here, cut this short, flood, it's just like, it was very well organized.
If this movie was made in the 90s, we would have got the story of the Amazons for half the movie, and that was it. But no, they said, look, boom, you got it, we're moving on.
Yep.
And they did
focusing on what the movie's about.
Yeah, her.
Yes.
And Jeff Johnson said it, the best fighter in the entire DC universe.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much saying a lot.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so, and she's it. You know, she is, and she's all she's cracked up to be. Yeah. And Gal Gadot, you know, I mean, they said she put on some muscle and she did all this, and she's still a thin woman. It's very fit though. I mean, and it played well, and it sold it. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think Jenny Gump, Robin Wright Penn, was amazing.
Oh yeah.
In the time that we saw her, you know, because she was on Themyscira and then they went away. But when we did see her, oh my God,
she's fantastic.
Hippolyta. Yeah. The mom, you know, Connie Nielsen.
She did a great job as well.
Yeah. Excellent casting across the board.
Yeah.
Really was.
Yeah, everyone was who you needed them to be, and they did a good job at it. They didn't undersell it. They were just like they fit the character very well.
Yeah, they really did, and it's you know, hats off to DC. I mean, DC has been getting beat up
bad
left and right and all over the place, and they hit one out of the park.
Yeah.
You know,
this is their
risk too.
Yeah, because this is
first female superhero in a lead.
Yeah, it's the first time we get a super female hero who's in charge. You know, they're not the side characters. They're not helping. They're not that. This is her movie.
It's her movie,
and they made sure to show you that throughout this movie by putting all the people who are around her more supporting. You know, no one took over. There was never a moment where it's like, you know, this is Captain Trevor kicking ass. Nope. It was never a moment where it was the antagonist. Nope. It was never. It was just like, it's her, and then they just happen to be there.
Yeah. It's her crew.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to do this, bro, but can we move to where we're going, because I am about to let you know everything that happened in this movie. So I want to get.
Yeah. Let's jump to the next section, because. I'm just like, what else can I say without giving too much away?
I'm dying here, guys. I'm dying here, and and which I know you've seen our past videos. I'm gonna tell you everything. So we have to move forward, because
no, you're right. You're right.
Because the spoiler edition is coming, and believe me,
there's much to tell.
We gave you a chicken wing when. We're gonna give you the whole chicken.
Yeah,
here pretty soon.
Where's it going in the DCEU? Is what we're talking about?
Yeah. I think.
Real quick, I do like the fact that it's not the movie doesn't go. This is exactly where we're going, or this is what's come. It's not like, hey, this is what's next. Get ready for it. It's kind of like there'll be more.
Yeah, there'll be more.
You know.
That's it. You know, we're not gonna tell you. You know, we're not gonna leave you. We're not Marvel. We're not gonna leave you a 5-second scene where you see Thor's hammer. Yeah. We're not going to do that. You know, we're not going to show you a crashed alien giving a ring away. Yeah. You know, no one's going to get hit by lightning and all that. You know, DC's not going to do that. So all they're saying is more to come.
Yeah, there's more. And you'll have to wait and see, but there's more.
Tune in next time.
Yeah, basically.
I think where they're going is... I think they found their footing. I think Jeff Johns, because this is Jeff Johns' first movie.
Yeah, it's the first time he's really involved.
You know, I mean, he got hired halfway through BVS and stuff like that, and you can see how there's gold in that movie in BVS, and I think that's Jeff Johns, because to do a good comic book movie, you have to get someone who loves comics. Yeah. Example A, Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige loves comics, and it shows in his Marvel movies. And I think bringing Jeff Johns on shows that they're on the right track. Yeah. So
people moving in the right direction.
Yeah. So I mean, to summarize everything, I think it's a good jumping off point.
Definitely.
I think it's an excellent movie.
Oh yeah.
It's not perfect. Haven't seen one yet that's perfect. You know, it's got some pacing issues, blah blah blah, but it's so good you can get past that. Yeah. And without me talking too much,
no, guys, I agree with him. It's a great movie. It's great for DC, and I'm excited because I think this will get more people wanting to see more DC instead of just constantly dogging them. And it does have a couple issues, but I mean, what movie doesn't have issues? But the fact is that this movie's issues aren't big enough or major issues that make you go, man, that movie needed help. They're so nitpicky issues where you're kind of like, that movie's awesome, and I'm gonna go see it again. I know we're probably gonna go see it again. And multiple times. It's a fun movie. It'll entertain you, and you don't have to be a fan to go watch this movie. You can be a person who's like, hey, I want to go see a movie, and you won't be lost. You'll understand what's going on and what these characters mean to the world. And I enjoyed it very much so, yeah.
And I'm calling it right now. If you have a daughter that's 10 and below, if she didn't like Wonder Woman before, she loves her now.
Oh, yeah. All right, everyone. So I'm pretty sure I can speak for both of us and say that we love this movie. We think it's fantastic. Definitely DC's best so far. However, we want to hear your guys' thoughts, likes, dislikes, where you think it's going from here, how it's taken off, down in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, like the page on Facebook, and as always,
we'll see you at the movies.